Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? I have something on my mind that I want to talk to you about, and it's really a lot of the essence of why we started Compass Trainings. How off balance a lot of people get in this industry. See, I know a lot of people who have been into personal development, and they were wonderful speakers. They spoke about leadership. They spoke about stuff like NLP, about sales. They spoke about all kinds of stuff. They mastered something in their life and they have information that they want to give you. And I found that very fascinating. And I took a lot of those courses and I paid a lot of the money to go to that stuff. And I went to go see these guys and I went to the John Maxwell's and I got certified. I got my certificate and I'm certified as a John Maxwell leadership coach. And I went and I got my NLP stuff and I got certified in neurolinguistics programming. And I went back to school and I studied and I learned about how to be able to treat people and how to work with people and how psychology works and the history of psychology. And I spent a ton of money and a ton of time on trying to be able to understand how people think and what excites them, what motivates them. And I wanted to understand, what is it that these people knew that I didn't know? And I realized something. I realized that there was something that was missing with a lot of these people that I went to go see. There was some off balance. Either they had their finances in check and they knew they made a ton of money and their life was wonderful and it was great, but they didn't have a relationship with God. Or they didn't have a good relationship with their spouse. Or they'd been divorced multiple times. Or their kids didn't talk to them. Or maybe I spoke to somebody who wanted to teach me how to get my body in check and get myself in fitness. And they were in great shape physically. But they didn't know how to balance their checkbook. They didn't know how to work with money. Or maybe they didn't have a relationship with God. Or I would talk to people, pastors. I've been around pastors almost my entire life. I got family members who are pastors. They're godly people. And yet, they're so heavenly minded, they're no earthly good. And their body is wearing down, and they're overweight, and they're obese, and they're not taking care of themselves. They don't eat well. Or they don't know how to handle their relationship with their spouse or their kids. We even have a term for it. It's called PK, a pastor's kid. I don't know how many of you can relate to this, but there was a lot of off balance out there. And in my search and going through a lot of different seminars, I thought about something that has been troubling me, and that is, how do we create balance in our life? How are you able to win in the most important aspects of your life? And I broke it down to what I have now at Compass Trainings is the 4 F's. First is your relationship between you and God, your faith. Second is your relationship with your family, with your spouse, with your kids, and that's family. Next is your relationship with money. And how you interact with money, how you think about money. And that's finance. And then last, your relationship with your own body. And that's fitness. Faith, family, finance, and fitness. And that's what we call the 4 F's. Now, there's a lot more behind what it is that we do. But what I did is I went and I searched and I collected information, and then I went and applied it to my life. And I sought to get my relationship right with God and to understand what it is to have a relationship with your Creator, with our Creator. And next, I wanted to have an incredible relationship with my wife. And let me tell you something, that was very difficult. Because there's a 70% divorce rate depending on the state that you live in. And here in Southern California, it's pretty high. And I sought to create and develop a trusting, loving, nurturing relationship with my queen, with my spouse, with my wife, with my beloved. And then I sought to get my finances in order. And I got to tell you, man, it was mind-boggling. Because I didn't even know how much money was in our checkbook. I didn't even know how we balanced everything. And I had thrown that off to my wife. I was weak. I was being a coward. But I finally got that in check and understood how finances worked and how credit works and the benefit and disadvantages of being in credit and being in debt. And then fitness. Man, I gotta tell you, this has been a long journey. And I still got a long way to go. I'm not saying that I have it all together. But I finally figured out how to get my body in check. And how to discipline my body. So we got faith, family, finance, and fitness. And I created a whole curriculum around this. And I love to tell you that I have a whole weekend seminar where you're going to revolutionize your life. You're going to transform your life. And you know what? That is not true. That would be a lie from the pit of hell. Because I don't think it exists. It takes time. It takes discipline. It takes rigor. It takes commitment. But if you're up to it, come check us out. Don't check us out. Commit to it. Come and see the work you can get done. Not just by reading a bunch of books, but by joining a community of leaders who are committed to mastering the 4 F's in our life. This is Compass Trainings. Come and discover your true north. I'll see you, the committed ones, in the training room.